Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live. I'm your host for today, Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern. Let me get my gloves on. My official ring hasn't arrived yet just because of the mail stuff happening here in Canada, but it should arrive by Monday. And so when that happens, we'll have Guy Gardner on as well. So let me just... I wasn't actually going to do I wasn't going to actually do Jessica Cruz today, but divination called and I was looking through some old videos, and today we're going to do a reread of a comic book I read you guys a while ago, and I'll show you it in just a second. So I hope you guys are well. Let me just say hello. Christian, welcome. Matthew, hello. Compass Psycho, oh yeah. Derek Anderson, Baba Luba, Benoit Carr, Doug Wentz 50, Ray, Ken W17. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time on preamble. I want to jump right into it just because I was looking through some of my old reads and I was like, oh wait, some of the comic book reads that I've done before, and I'm just trying to get my replays all ready for the Cosmic Comic Book Club so we can do a bit more analysis. But I'll show you the read in just a sec. All right, this is the read, you guys. We are going to revisit Quest for Hope, part 1, and so hopefully I'm going to get the one that follows this this week from the comic book store. So we're going to just read this in full, and then you can get this one in full as well afterwards, right? Because it's a nice self-contained story, and it also introduces a few of the other Green Lantern, the other lanterns, the other colors. So that's why it's called Quest for Hope, because blue is hope, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, not to be confused with indigo blue, because indigo blue is compassion. And Pokey, I saw you step into the room. So yeah, I wasn't going to go live today, but Superhero School starts tomorrow with Supergirl, and Kara asked me to go live because one of the modules is going to be on symbols, and Green Lantern is actually an OG symbol when it comes to the DC universe. Hal Jordan, and I'm playing as Jessica Cruz today, so it's kind of funny. I actually saw the other day that Jessica Cruz is supposed to enter the DCU. I wonder if we had anything to do with that. Inspiring it, right? Oh, thank you. So I have I'm waiting on my ring. I have three rings that are like in transit coming to me, but because of the Canada Post strike here, it's been kind of crazy trying to get certain things that I love, because oh man, there are many different types of rings to choose, and also you guys have like tiny little fingers, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. All right, so Flapjack, hello, welcome to the live, you guys. If you guys are new here, I'm Rachel Z. I'm playing as Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern tonight, and we're going to be reading Quest for Hope, this self-contained comic book read. So typically I read you guys comic books like a bedtime story. I've been kind of all over the place, and I've been kind of like looking back at old reads that I've done and realized also that like they're kind of all over the place. So it was like, oh wow, because I get distracted with you guys, right? We go off like on a tangent and we get like, talking, and so I'm like, maybe I can just have like, I'm gonna have special like hangout times where we can just hang out with the character, and ones where it's a bit more of a read. And I wanted to say hello to everybody. Hi, you guys. Jasmine. Hi, Riley's dad. Flapjack, Lumberjack. Hi, how's it going? Oh my goodness, I had pancakes the other day. Flapjack. You know what? Pancakes and flapjacks are the same, but flapjacks sound a lot cooler. Pancakes always remind me of that movie, Cabin Fever with Ryder Strong. That movie's so gross. I don't know, like, do you guys remember that movie? I'm not gonna go over it because it's there's a lot of, like, some horror movies I get, but I'm not a big fan of like gory horror or body horror. Like Cronenberg's from Toronto, where I'm here right now, but the body horror stuff, I'm like a peeker, right? How about you guys? Do you like, what kind of horror movies, because we're in spooky season, are your favorite? Hey, Fleaboy Jetson, how's it going? And thank you for the heartney flapjack. And thanks for FYPing for your page. I'm starting to unravel and appreciate the gift. Okay, so how am I doing today? Amazing. Hey, Brandon. And guess what? I have gloves. It adds to the whole look of the Green Lantern too. Also, what I have in the works is an actual Green Lantern to hold, right? Because that's the whole symbology of Green Lantern, right? Like, for example, when I say I'm Green Lantern, you don't think I'm an actual lantern, hopefully. It's symbolically being a light in the darkness, right? And green itself, from a chakra perspective, is actually your heart chakra, right? So it's kind of interesting because we're going to start in the read right now because if there's other lanterns in here and they all represent different emotions as part of the, what do they call it again? The emotional, I keep on calling the electromagnetic spectrum, but it's more like the emotional energetic spectrum. I might be misspeaking, but like energies from emotions, right? Cabin Fever was pretty good though. But remember that part where he's like, pancakes, and then the kid goes all crazy and he bites the guy and he ends up with with the disease. But I just like whenever I think pancakes, I always just think of that scene in Cabin Fever. I might bring it up so we can have some frame of reference for everyone else who doesn't know what we're talking about, Flapjack. And Samations, hi, how's it going? Thank you for sharing the live. And hello, everybody. And Bounce the DJ. Oh, thank you. Someone on here was saying like maybe James Gunn should hire me to be Jessica Cruz. I think Jessica Cruz is supposed to be Latina, though I believe, and not to say that I couldn't play Jessica Cruz. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind being more of a voice actor, though. I think in most cases, a lot of people, because my background, just in case you guys don't know, my mom is Filipino, my dad is South African, so I'm black, white, and Asian. So I guess in the mix of all those things, I could probably play as a few different characters, especially aliens, because they're not really any specific culture, right? Oh, am I lagging? Oh my goodness. Let's see. It might also just because of the internet these days, or like it's craziness. Oh, and I'm starting to unravel. Thank you for the hat and mustache. I should have done a little, you know, next time. I gotta keep track with you guys. You guys are so awesome tonight. Jamie Starwalker. I love that name. Starwalker, like Skywalker. It's like that whole magic user shaman vibe. I love it. And thank you for the roses, Jamie. Galaxy have matching socks on. I have boots, but I don't have the boots on yet. So I'll have those after. We'll put near the end, maybe I'll put the boots on and we can do a full body. Because I'm actually planning on a few dance music videos in cosplay. Just so I've been planning on doing Jessica Cruz doing Crazy by Britney Spears. Because Britney Spears in that music video, she's in that green, right? Crazy. And if you think about it, Jessica Cruz had to go through a lot of mental stress and anxiety to come around the other side, right? Because if you aren't familiar with Jessica Cruz, I'm going to do a quick stretchy. If you stay till the end, maybe you can come back and galaxy me. We'll put that in there like, for the boots. If you guys give me a galaxy, I'll put on the boots. Let's put it that way. I see you into podcasting. Oh yeah, Flea Boy. I'm also a producer, you guys. So if you are interested in doing a podcast, I do a lot of stuff pro bono, you guys. Just because I have a big belief that your story matters. It really does. And that's why the comic books have meant a lot. And that's why I'm going back and rereading this to you guys, because I already read it to you guys a while ago. But some stories are worth a revisit, right? And Fleaboy Jetson, yes, I'm into podcasting. And if you guys podcast and you want to do some collabs, totally down. Let's do that. We are the media, you guys. We are the ones who get to bring these stories to life. So, especially us who love characters like Green Lantern, which are a little bit more like no one really knows about them. Oh, thank you for that. Oh, you guys are so. Oh, I always love how much you guys react to Jessica Cruz. I love her so much too. Speaking on voice actors from all over the world, I love voice actors. I actually had the pleasure of working with a few voice actors. So I used to be a project manager, a digital project manager. So I used to do things like sprint planning, Jira, all of that craziness. And I used to work with voice actors when it came to like making animations for like certain drug protocols. And so it's such a cool thing. Like when people can put on, like it's just like going on stage, right? And putting on a character, your voice also changes. So I've been trying to do that as well with my different characters and even my different makeup. So Jessica and Kara are very different characters, right? Kara's kind of like a badass. She's an alien. She's kind of got a little bit of a chip on her shoulder because she's kind of like, oh, I'm an alien and I can't really trust people because you're just gonna like experiment on me and like cut me open and try to figure out how I work. And Jessica's got a totally different backstory, which I'm gonna get into in just a second. I must make sure Jamie, and looking for a co-host. Oh, really? Oh, how often do you podcast? Hey, Reed Richards, how's it going? Um, Simon Baz. Oh yeah, Reed, that's amazing. This can also be in honor of the Green Power Ranger. Rest in power, Green Power Ranger slash White Power Ranger, right? I actually saw this comic book the other day, which I will read you guys, where the Power Rangers and Batman goes into a lot of universes, I've noticed, right? Jacques, thanks for following. And Jamie, thanks again for the heart me. I want to make sure I have everybody. Thanks for the perfume. I'm starting to unravel. Thank you for the follow, Larry. Oh, and Guts and Glory, thank you. Yeah. It's like about having the eyes to see, right? And Jessica Cruz producing podcasts. Oh, yes. I produced actually a podcast bi-weekly for a group called Decriminalize Nature in the US. And so you guys can see behind me, I have like mushies. I love, we like to call them entheogens as opposed to psychedelics. Psychedelics is a little bit of a term that, it can be problematic. I like the word, and we like the word entheogens, which it means discovering the God within or the divine within. And so it's about having different tools and practices to recognize your own inner beautiful genius and divinity, right? Thanks for the caterpillar chaos again, Flapjack. That little shake with the butterfly like made my night. Dagon 357, thanks for the follow. I'm gonna pin. And also, by the way, reminder, you guys, superhero school starts tomorrow. So every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be doing the first hour free, but the second hour is going to be various modules that you can do, which they have different themes behind them, right? So tomorrow we're going to be doing hero's journey and your origin story, your personal origin story, and then the workshop is to kind of we're going to sit down together in real life and go through the hero's journey as per the astrological wheel of time and map out where you are, right? Yeah, and Beowulf's a great example of hero's journey, I think, as well. And I'm going to use a few superheroes as case studies too. And Electric Noise, she's such an underrated Green Lantern, but I don't know if you guys have heard the news. I've heard rumblings that Jessica Cruz is going to be in the DCU. Maybe James Gunn's going to call me the other soon. Fleetwood Judson, are you the Green Power Ranger? All right. The Green Lantern is my favorite character. Travel Dan 70, do you have a favorite Green Lantern? Oh, I do have an email. You can email me at Rachel, so RAC Rachel, and Zabrina with a Z. So that's why I'm Rachel Z, right? My last name is also Z, so I'm technically Rachel ZZ. A lot of Z's, but it's Rachel Zabrina, so RACHL, Zabrina at gmail.com. And I will hopefully, I've been getting better at getting back to all of my emails and everything collab wise, so I can help with all that, hopefully. Let's see here. Haha, thank you for the follow. Are those my actual eyes? They are my real eyes. They're just enhanced a little bit, Smithy. um, Hal Jordan's my favorite to travel, Dan. And awesome guy, welcome back. Welcome back, Cruise Stars. And it's in your name too, Jessica Cruz. So I totally believe you. All right. So welcome you guys. We're going to do a really special read tonight. Green Lantern, Quest for Hope. This is a really cool one because you get to see the different lanterns like Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, and then I forget, what is your name again? Saint Walker, I think this guy's name. And it's cool to see the different lanterns and how they interact. It's also a misconception that the lanterns, the yellow lanterns and the red lanterns are evil. That's not like, it's like righteous anger or when you learn how to harness your fear. These are not evil things. It's just maybe more challenging. Everyone thinks the Black Green Lantern was first, but Hal was first. You know what is interesting? John Stewart, the Black Green Lantern, who actually has a relationship with Hawkgirl in some of the animated versions, which I kind of like. But John Stewart, for some reason, like me and my friend talked about this. I'm like, how come they always use John Stewart as the main Green Lantern when they have the Justice League? And I think it's because John Stewart is more of like the standard, like military version of Green Lantern. Like for example, the Green Lanterns have their power rings. My power ring is still in the mail. Thank you, Canada Post, for that strike. Still waiting. See here. But let me go back a little bit. I see that Guy Gardner has entered the chat too. My ring's coming on Monday, so maybe we can do that. And got lost in space. Yeah, yes. Hal's amazing. I love Hal so much. Such a crush on Hal Jordan. You know why, though? I love characters like Hal Jordan, like John Constantine, like Jason. I don't know, like I love renegades. I love, like Hal Jordan said this once, where like the core actually depends on him not to follow the rules, right? So hi Ross, welcome, welcome. So we're going to do a Hal Jordan read. Lucky for you, all you Hal Jordan fans. A lot of my girlfriends actually love Guy Gardner the most. Yes, the Green Lantern TV series I have high hopes for. Really, really high hopes. And I think Jessica Cruz may be in that. So let's take a little step back, you guys. Welcome, my Green Lantern Corps. Welcome to the live. I hope you're all well, right? I'm going to be a dad. Oh, congrats, Angelo. Yay. That is one of the biggest roles a superhero can play, raising a little being that can change the world, right? It's kind of cool. Voice of One, hey, hey. And to all of you girl dads out there, I see you. I had one of the best girl dads, and props to all of the dads out there who know their little girl can do anything, right? Just kind of thing. I have all her, wow, you guys. I have all her first appearances for Powering in Green Lantern. Guy Gardner is a lame Green Lantern. He is so fun, but you are the best. Oh, I appreciate that. That's a thing though, right? I think the most fun thing about the lanterns is the interactions and how they rag each other. It's such a fun dynamic. So that TV show, I hope, will have a lot of that that in there because you're dealing with like cosmic forces, and you have to have. I feel like when it can be so heavy, you have to have a little bit of levity or an ability to have humor. Otherwise, it just gets too dark, right? Yeah. Well, I feel like all of us should get one of these. I got this from AliExpress for like $15. So it was great. I hope you should all get one because, I mean, the Green Lantern Corps is cross galaxies, right? You have galaxy sectors. So, Jessica Cruz. If you guys are not familiar, Jessica Cruz, I like to call her my final girl, right? So if you guys aren't familiar with the final girl archetype, when you watch horror movies, a good example is Sidney Prescott from Scream. right? The final girl who like, yeah, right? I don't know if it still is this price. I got this maybe a year and a half ago. So, what do you want to call it? Inflation. uh, Hal Jordan, though, we'll get into Hal in just a second and why I like him so much, and how I think Ryan Reynolds was not the right casting for him. Jon Stewart is cool and he adds more of that stoic military personality. Exactly, awesome guy. Because that's the beauty, right? You'll see here there's a really nice interaction between Hal and Jon Stewart. It's like Jon knows that Hal just does things his own way anyways. So John's like, as long as I don't know about it, whatever. But you do need, like, Jon Stewart is very much like Captain America to me. Like, I'm gonna follow the rules, we're gonna do things like by the book, all that kind of stuff. uh if I had to say, they used him over Hal in the show, at least. Hal also has some stuff that has to do with like parallax as well as specter, right? So I'm going to talk about that in 2 secs. Dragon Cowboy. Also, can I reiterate how cool your name is? Because I love dragons, and cowboys are cool too, right? Because I'm from the prairies, and so I have this big dream of one day having a ranch and we can film stuff out there, right? Kyle Rayner is also underrated, Cruz Torres, yes. And Kyle Rayner is actually also a illustrator, right? So he like draws comic books. And so there's a cool thing in there in terms of that. Halloween Jordan is the best Green Lantern creator. I love that. Okay. Oh, Ross, thank you guys. People like to tell me, they're like, it looks see-through. I'm like, no, it's just because it matches my body. Hal Jordan is number one. Yes, yes, I have to agree with that a little bit. Okay. Halloween Jordan. uh oh my gosh, what did they Hal had a conversation with Barry Allen, the Flash, and it was really cute because Hal called Barry Bartholomew and Barry called Hal, I thought his name was Halliburton, but it's like Harold. And I'm like, is Hal short for Harold? Is that an actual thing? You guys tell me. I have lantern horses. I'm a white lantern. That's cool. That's very cool. Can we please get a movie? Right? My favorite scene of all time in movies, and I know this isn't Green Lantern related. Any Alan Scott fans? Oh, Alan Scott. How about Jade? Jade's an awesome Green Lantern too, right? Actually, let's. I'm going off on a tangent. You guys are like, I've gotten so excited. Okay, so Jessica Cruz. If you guys don't know who she is actually the first female Green Lantern of sector. Oh my gosh, what is our sector? 2114. Oh my gosh, 2809. That's not right. This is because we're talking with Guy. We'll start in just a sec. Way better than Ryan. Aw, you guys are sweet. Jade has kicked. See, Ross, that's why we need a tally. We need to have like almost like, what do you want to call it? Top 5 kick in the junk heroines. I feel like number 1 is probably Black Canary. Black Canary likes to do like high kicks to the junk for some reason. Dragon Cowboy, that's sweet. Let's see here. Hopefully they remake the Green Lantern movies. Oh man. Oh gosh, that one thing I will say they did good in the Green Lantern movie was how they did Mark Strong, Sinestro. I thought Sinestro actually, because Sinestro's like pink, right? His alien form. So that could have looked really cheesy and lame, but it looked good, in my opinion. And thanks for the heart, me Dragon Cowboy. Aw, you're in California, Vader? I love California. I have quite a few friends there, actually. A lot of, it's a lot warmer than here. And you also have like the mountains and the sea, all that kind of stuff. Black Canary, Catwoman, or Harley is probably number 1. Oh yeah, Harley Quinn's probably number 1. What am I talking about? Kicking in the junk, Seems like a Harley move. Hi, right. Zatanna is the best hero. I love Zatanna, you guys. I love Zatanna. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. Very cool. I love Texas. You know what? I grew up in the prairies. I'm in big city downtown Toronto right now, but you can't take a girl out. Like, you can take a girl out of the prairies, but you can't take the prairies out of the girl, right? So I'm always going to, oh yeah, oh yeah. Zatanna sometimes gets thought of as being almost too overpowered, right? Supergirl gets the same rag, but you know, if you think about the Green Lanterns with the ring on, very, very powerful. So let's bring it back. We talked about all of our favorite Green Lanterns. My favorite Green Lantern is Hal Jordan, the greatest Green Lantern. And I'll tell you why in just a second. But Jessica Cruz is a close second. I found out about Jessica Cruz actually when I first put together this cosplay, right? So Jessica Cruz, she actually goes through a very traumatic experience, right? She goes out to a camping trip with her friends, and they come upon mob bosses, like Goodfellas guys. They're like getting rid of a body. And so they see Jessica and her friends witnessing them getting rid of the body, and so they basically kill all of Jessica Cruz's friends in front of her, right? She manages to get away. But she, of course, has like major, major PTSD as a result of this. Like, your best friends got killed in front of you. And then she basically goes through a period of time where she doesn't leave the house. And so I think that's why a lot of us who like Jessica Cruz can relate to her feelings of anxiety, of fear, of like, oh my gosh, like I can't even leave the house at this point. So in this state, the fear ring finds her, the ring of Volthoom. Hope I'm saying that right. And the ring of Volthoom basically feeds, it preys on fear. And so the more fearful she is, the more strong that ring becomes. Now, the way the story goes is that I forget what happens. It's like she actually ends up being like a villain, right? Because you let the fear consume you, those lower vibrations put you in a certain situation. But Batman, bless you, Batman, helps Jessica work through her fear. And I think the way the story goes is that she basically ends up placing herself in front of danger to save, I think, the Flash. And it is that very act of selflessness, that very act of like not being afraid, that transforms that fear ring into a ring, like a Green Lantern ring. So Jessica becomes someone who was once so racked with fear into a Green Lantern by learning how to like not like you can feel the fear, but like in spite of it, just like how in Dune, like the litany against fear, I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death, right? That brings total obliviation. I will face my fear. I will allow that fear to come over me and through me. So, how you approach that is everything, right? If the world is going to explode anyways, I say better to step right into it and then bring it to me, baby. Because that it's gonna be a transition anyways, right? And so I feel like better to go in with your heart full and being like, F this, we got this, right? And sometimes nothing happens. You're like, oh, I was working myself so like up so much, and it ends up being like, oh, that wasn't that bad at all. The fear of like going on stage, for me example, right? I used to have such stage fright, like because I used to compete in fitness competitions, right? And you have to do your little T-walk in your heels and your little bikini, and right before I would step out on stage, I'd have like this paralyzing fear of like, oh my gosh, what if I trip and fall or something goes wrong? But then it's such a crazy moment. In spite of it, you're so scared, and you just step out into the light and everything goes quiet. And then it's such a beautiful thing when like the crowd loves you back. I don't know, like just they can tell. Yeah. Yeah, love it. Green Lantern. Okay, so Jessica Cruz, she transforms the fear ring into a Green Lantern ring. Now, Jessica Cruz also has a partner, Simon Baz, who I love this because the Green Lantern Corps in the whole DC universe lore is kind of like the cosmic space cops, right? Hi, Newfoundland. I love Newfoundland, by the way. Rebel Rider, hey, hey, hey. I am Jessica Cruz. Yeah. So Simon Baz is my partner, and they also have a few stories about, what it's like to work with a partner, right? I love I used to love the oh my gosh, what was it, those movies called? With Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. What were those movies called again? Any those buddy cop stuff. So um so cute, just not great. So I don't hear you're gone. They had such great buddy cop. Yeah, a buddy cop that or and it's kind of fun even when you have I used to love all of those romance comedies where they almost annoy each other at first and then you learn to love each other and you still Lethal Weapon. Thank you. Kev's collectible spot. I feel like you deserve stickers or some sort of star because you always manage to come whenever I have a question, you always have the right answer right away. Um Canada are Americans for anybody. I am from Spain. Hi, Spain. I used to be a global relationship manager for KPMG, and so I used to work with Spain quite a bit and Belgium and 130 countries. So I got to talk to a lot of people from around the world. Stars, what do I deserve? Not sure yet. I feel like it has to go along with something junk wise. So maybe what would work? It's escaping me now. I was going to say dates, but no. All right. We're going to go into the read. I have a read for you guys tonight. It is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Quest for Hope. Nuts! Yes, Ross. I can't believe I didn't even, fancy nuts. How about that? Like cashews and stuff. Cashews are technically not a nut, though. So there you go. All right. Actually, I'm going to go into why I love Hal Jordan just a little bit. uh, so Hal Jordan, played by Ryan Reynolds in the movie that was bad, uh, it was a miscast. I don't necessarily blame Ryan entirely. I don't. Ryan's actually a great. Wait a minute. Is he Deadpool? Yeah, he's Deadpool. Who is Ryan Reynolds again? He's Deadpool, right? Um, yes, yes. You know what? Kev's collectible spot. I've noticed. I think Jessica Cruz is supposed to enter the DCU. I don't know if in the TV show or in the movie form, but she's supposed to be dun 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 dun. So that's exciting. Oh, Scott Summers. I'm gonna start the read. Uh, Give me 20 minutes. How long will it get me to go through this? I wanted to get that. This is the whole point of it tonight, you guys, because I realized when I read this initially to you guys that the read was very all over the place and you didn't get the actual story. So when I do the replay for it, I'm going to ensure that it's this encapsulated so you can always come back to it. And then tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to try to get the one after this, and then we can have a read following that as to what happens. And all of your favorite Green Lanterns are in this, including, of course, Hal Jordan, who's the title Green Lantern character here. But Hal Jordan, whew, he's a fighter pilot. And the way the story goes is that his father actually died in a plane crash. And so the idea is that Hal Jordan, every time he enters a plane, he does it as a way to fight his own fear, right? He has fear every single time he enters a cockpit. But in spite of that, he does it anyways. And so that makes him a perfect Green Lantern because you're able to use your will as a way to hone yourself, your emotions, and be able to focus on things. Now, Hal, yes, Vader, no date yet, 2026, very cool. Maybe I could be in another multiverse. Anyways, I'll put that out into the universe. So Hal Jordan, one of the Green Lanterns, he goes through a particular character arc with Parallax. In the movie, Parallax is done in a very Hollywood kind of way. This is why I love comic books a lot, because you can kind of talk about things more abstractly, because Parallax is supposed to be at a personification or embodiment of fear itself. Parallax essentially takes over Hal Jordan, right? And he becomes a villain. And he basically almost destroys the entire Green Lantern Corps. It's why when Kara, Supergirl, goes to Mogo or goes to hell first to get some help, he tries to give her some advice, and he's like, listen, Kara, go for, like, you want to get the truth, all of that is good, but please try not to go for revenge, because that path is really hard to walk away from. Thanks, Lion. I'm gonna uncensor your comment. Okay, so let's get into the read, and then Scott Summers / Guy Gardner, maybe we can do a little live to the end, and we can talk a little bit more about our favorite Green Lanterns and their different personalities. So for now, let's get into it. And Ross, maybe you can kick them until they announce the date. There should be some fun running joke there with this, Ross. I'm gonna think about it. There's a way to kind of make it. All right, so Quest for Hope, Part 1, DC Universe Rebirth. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps, baby, let's go. Mardum, my mom's Filipino. My dad is South African. But my dad's like my granny, who I'm going to visit in December because she still lives in Winnipeg. She's turning 100 this year. So I'm going to do a little interview with her about it, because she was born in 1925. How crazy is that? So we're going to talk about stories about when she was growing up in South Africa, because she's more Dutch. She's like very much like, I guess, white South African, but my grandfather was black. So it was just kind of like all of that kind of went together. Well, dye my hair and call me Blue. Call me Marge because I love you. Oh, that's cute, Stevie. You guys are awesome. And Jason, thank you for that. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the read, my friends. My wife is Filipina and she must be gorgeous. Mardam. I might be a little biased, but she must be gorgeous. The mestiza babies out there, right? The mixed ones. It's funny too. I did get to visit South Africa actually, because for work, and I loved going around telling people I was half South African because I look Asian, right? So they were all like, how are you half South African? But it was such a beautiful thing because in Africa, a lot of what they told me was that there's this feeling of like everyone are brothers and sisters. So everyone comes home to Africa. It's like Mama Africa, like Mama Earth, regardless of where you end up going, right? Or where you are from. So I got a very welcome. And the girl who did my nails there too, she's like, can you take me home with you to Canada? I'm like, I wish, girl, I'm not that famous yet. All right, so we're in Space Sector 2809. This is Smuggler's Corridor. So I don't think this is our sector. Sector is a different one. How would I handle a Green Lantern fight? Hey, Nick the Summer Guy. Oh, you know what? This is where my Gemini moon comes into play, Ross. It would be hard for me to decide that. It would be like in the moment, like freestyling, like dance freestyle. I only know what I'm going to do at the moment it's happening. But it's like you can't think about it too much. I'll quote John Constantine here, riding the synchronicity wave, but not thinking about it too much, right? You also don't want to forecast what your moves are so your enemy sees them coming, right? So that's why you do a little fake out punch, that kind of thing. All right, so Space Sector 2809, Smuggler's Corridor. And so here we go. Someone thinks they can chase us, old gal. Let them try to keep up with the new transluminal accelerator under your hood. I love that. Ships, spaceships, and jets, all of that, cars, always female. It's the thing. Let's see here. Womb. Even when I rent cars and stuff to drive, I always name them because there's like, the ghost in the machine situation. All right, so she's got it. I think that's Guy Gardner, and they're in Smuggler's Cove because Guy Gardner tends to do, yes. Here we go. These gloves are going to make it hard to turn the pages, so I'm going to take them off for a second. I'll put them back, I promise. Okay. So someone thinks they can chase us, old gal. Let them try to keep up with the new transluminal accelerator under your hood. Foom. What the hell? So we have Guy here. You know what? His haircut doesn't look so bad here. You know, like that bowl cut that Nathan Fillion's doing in the movie. It doesn't look quite so bad in the comic book. See, thanks, Ross. April O'Neil would be a kick in the junk kind of person too, if you think about it. All right, so Guy Gardner transforms, then says, "What's your rush, space?" Oh, so that's not Guy Gardner. That's some sketchy cabbie. Guy Gardner is now stopping him. "What is your rush, space cabbie? It's your old pal, Guy Gardner." I love how comic books do that when you announce yourself. You have to like, "Hi, it's this." Quest for Hope, Part 1, Light in the Darkness. It glitched. What did I say about April? Oh, Ross, I said that, am I wearing paint? Yes and no. I said that April O'Neil would probably be someone who would kick someone in the junk. I feel like she, like, to get things done, April's kind of like that no nonsense kind of girl. So I like her for that. April O'Neil is a big reason why I even moved out to here in Toronto, right? Because I wanted to be like a newscaster, like Lois Lane, April O'Neil. Ever noticed that a lot of superheroes' alter egos are reporters? Funny, funny. Right in the turtle shells, baby. I had the original Rebirth issues from 2005 when Hal was on the cover with the lantern. Yeah, there's a few. Well, I mean, this is part 1 of the Quest for Hope. There's ones after. I also have End of the Gods, the New Gods situation thing as well, which is actually a cool storyline, but that I will keep for a different day next time. How do you feel about Rebirth, Vader 138? Some people are torn about it. I think it depends on what characters you're talking about. Okay, so here, Guy Gardner stopped the space cabbie who's doing sketchy stuff. I don't know how he knows that, but... And so he's banging on the cabbie's space door. He's like, "Open up!" Bang, 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 bang. And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah, give me a sec. Let me just hide all of my, like, nefarious things under the seat." And then he uses his Green Lantern to make his ring to make, like, a wrench or, like, a crank to open it up. "Guy, heard you were back on the beat. About all this stuff that you don't see here." Guy says, "1, damn right I am back on my beat," right? Remember that they're like space cosmic cops, so he's on his beat, right? "I brought the rest of the Green Lanterns with me." Oh, that means I still own your butt, Cabby. Is his name actually Cabby? Whatever. "And B, I don't care half a crap about contraband. It's info that I'm after. Don't make me work for it, and maybe I'll tow you to a port so you don't get evacuated out of your busted airlock." Oh, good cop, bad cop, just bad cop, bad cop. Rebirth is my favorite, but needs the right character. Yeah, exactly, because I feel like sometimes Supergirl's done well. There's some inconsistencies with some of the characters depending on who's writing it. So and that just goes to show, like, even comic books with the characters, like, because you have a different team every single time you're putting together an issue, it's going to be different. Pokey, you have returned. You had Taco Bell for dinner. I haven't had Taco Bell in so long, but I do love tacos. Oh, I do make my triumphant return. Why can't I uncensor your comment? What the heck? You know what I would need for the Green Power Ranger? I would need that flute to summon the Dragon Zord, right? I love the Dragon Zord. I love the Zords in general. I have an affinity for mechs and mech suits. So hopefully in my new basement little studio that I'm working on, I can also have a little mini bat cave, right? Can I say the creed? Oh yeah, of course I can say the creed before I continue onward. And I had someone criticize me the other day about being like, "You need to put your chest into it," because I was saying it kind of like flippantly, and I'm like, "Oh, you want me to say it super serious?" Give me a second. I gotta put my gloves on. And when I get my ring, who knows? It'll probably, like, maybe you'll see me actually, like, just take off. That would be cool. Expressing real powers live, just out of nowhere. And you're putting out your chest, though. I think he meant like speaking from my chest, Ross, not just sticking out my chest. Two mad comic book authors can't help Hollywood with their films. You know what it is, JRH Pictures? The medium of movies is different than comic books. Even though it's funny because if you look at comic books, it's pretty much storyboards, right? You could just do this like shot for shot. That's what they did with Sin City, and it looked good because I think I said this last time when I was Jess, that I don't think they should make the superhero movies realistic. It's better to stylize it, right? Because you're talking about fantastical things. For us to bring that into this reality, we have to go there, like, we have to stretch, right? We don't need to bring it down and demystify it. They always do it better in comic books. I think that's because we're comic book people, though, my friend. We're biased. We're like the people who are like, well, I read the book, and this is not like the book. At least, oh, good. I'm glad the lag finally stopped. I'm going to blame TikTok for that. And at least then the read will probably be clean, hopefully. So let's do the oath, and let's continue on with the read. In brightest day, in blackest night, let no evil escape my sight, and let all those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Let's get it, baby. Okay. I love it in the scenes when like you have the Green Lanterns all getting together and like raising their rings and doing the oath. It's so good. And I used to, when I would say the oath, for some reason, in brightest day and blackest night, I would be like, let no eval. And I'm like, why am I saying it like that? Eval versus evil? Green Lantern's light, baby. Thank you. You know, the other oath that I like is the silk, I was calling them silk scepters. They're not silk scepters. Star sapphires. Thanks to Cap, and thanks for the gifts for that. Yeah. I gave myself chills doing that because I felt it this time. Okay, let's go. I'm going to try to keep turning the pages with my gloves on for as long as I'm able to. So Guy Gardner stopped this cabbie who I think has had like sketchy things in the past. How do I pronounce watermelon? Watermelon. I was saying, what word was it to my hubby the other day? Because I was gonna dress him up as Wolverine and then give him like a wound and then do healing factor like movie magic. And I kept on calling a wound, and he's like, a wound? A what? What are you saying? And he's like, you're not saying the end of wound right. I'm like, a wound? I'm like, oh, whatever. That's why writing things down always helps, right? And it's always been fun, you know, reading comic books and having to say certain things out loud where I'm like, this sounded different in my head. One glove on them off. Oh yeah, very cool. Good point. You guys are the best of it. Who else only has one glove? Michael Jackson? Who else did that? Smooth criminal. Okay. Don't make me work for it. So Guy, sorry. Guy has stopped this cabbie, and he's gonna basically pump him for intel. That's my impression of it. So B, I don't care half a crap about contraband. Doesn't care about all the sketchy stuff in your cab. It's info. Information, always the most important thing. Okay, back. When I so makes sense. Yes, totally. Yeah, it does make sense, right? And it's my left eye as well. Okay. Don't make me work for it, and maybe I'll tow you to a port so you don't get evacuated out of your busted airlock. The cabbie's like, oh, so old times then. You know the score. I say nothing, that'll jam up my customers. Everything else is fair trade. Who I'm after, not even you would stoop low enough to work for. And then he shows him this symbol. He's like, have you seen anyone wearing this? Whoa, that information is going to cost you. But it's interesting because I think that that emblem is just the they're trying to find the hope lanterns, the blue lanterns, right? So they're trying to find this sigil. They're trying to see. So the guy's like, okay, I might have some information, but it's gonna cost you. And guy's like, I can just arrest you. You better just give me the information. Uh, so let's see here. So that information is gonna cost you, and then we're gonna flip back to where are we? The central precinct of the intergalactic police force known as the Green Lantern Corps, baby. So the center of the cosmos, star map designation, space sector 0. So we're in home planet territory. Shining like a beacon once again is the sentient planet Mogo. And I read a comic book once with Mogo where Hal Jordan, like, he loves to call Mogo's a male, I think. And Mogo has a ring too, right? It's like a branch, right? And it had you put the ring on the branch. And I remember like Mogo lost its ring, and so Hal gave the ring back to Mogo. And it was a cute interaction. I love Lady Deadpool, Ross. I love it. Okay, so, but first, a private meeting between two of the Corps' best. So we have Hal Jordan and John Stewart having a conversation right here, right? The Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps. So why is it called Sinestro Corps, not Yellow Lantern Corps? Funny. Ross, I only assumed that Mogo was male just because Hal likes to refer to Mogo as buddy, or like, hey guy, you're looking good, buddy. Like, I feel like that's like a masculine. I mean, because it's the same color. That's so funny. Okay, let's continue onward. So Hal's kind of concerned. He's like, what? Sinestro Corps and Green Lantern Corps together under the same roof? Really? How exactly is this going to work, John? And then John says back, okay, listen, I don't have it all figured out, Hal. That's what the big room full of lanterns is for. But knowing I don't have it figured out is at least a start. What a great leader, right? In terms of John Stewart, he's like, I don't have it figured out yet. That's why I have a group of the best to help me figure it out. So great leaders, I think, also know how strong their team is as well. Hey, Dandy Money Man, and they know enough to like let them do their thing when they want. Oh, thank you for that. Okay, so he shifts the conversation a little bit, a little bit embarrassed, being like, oh, John, I just, about what happened, me running from the Corps, because Hal Jordan kind of ran away from the Green Lantern Corps. There's a few altercations between Hal and the Corps, but in this case, he ran away. John cuts him off and says, Kilowos, I hope I'm saying that right, Kilowos already explained it all. You were trying to take the fall for everything bad that the Corps were being blamed for. Fair enough. Because Kara actually asks Hal this, because in my other comic book series, The Killers of Krypton, Kara finds out that the killing of Krypton is an inside job, and that one of the Guardians, and the Guardians, not to be confused with the Guardians of the Galaxy from Marvel, the Guardians who are like basically the Green Lantern Corps bosses, one of them is like sketchy. So there's this situation where like if there's corruption from the inside, what do you do, right? Do you know what's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman? The smile, the carrot, that kind of thing. I hope you have a fun answer, Ross. Okay, so he's basically saying, like, listen, Hal, I know you're trying to take the blame for everything bad that the Corps was being blamed for, and it's the dumbest plan I've ever heard of, which is why I don't doubt for a second that you came up with it. And I love the Corps for this. So John Stewart basically says, like, that's the dumbest plan ever, which is why it doesn't surprise me that you, Hal Jordan, came up with it. Let's see here. But you need to understand, I'm the Corps leader now. That's what John Stewart's saying. So I think Hal Jordan was the leader of the Corps and ran away. Now I have Jon Stewart in place. But I don't think Hal wants to be the leader. I don't think there's like a struggle for power in that sense. Uh, Thanks, Deadpool. uh, in some universes, perhaps I'm the Green Power Ranger. Be cool if that could if he showed up here. Tommy is like from a different universe because they already have Batman going into Angel Grove because like Brainiac tries to steal Angel Grove and do to it what it did to Kandor, but all right, where are we here? We're looking forward, not back. You're the best lantern for the job. You see the whole map. Say when and where, and I'll be there to back you up. I love Hal for that. Like, he respects good leadership, good things. And so he shakes his hand, and John says, I'm really glad to hear you say that. The Corps looks up to you. Your service record and your voice mean something in these halls. So if you vouch for Soranik and her group of yellow lanterns, it will go a long way towards bringing everyone together. Aw, Dragon Cowboy, I love it. Aw, you guys are the best. I'm feeling all the energy. It was the variant and option. You know, I do a lot of lives with Healthy here who does Batman, and we've commonly done things where I'm like, I basically accuse him of like Batman. Whenever he has like a fight with the Green Lanterns, he basically like steals off their ring. That's his basic MO. He just sneakily takes off his ring. But it's in all good fun because Hal likes to rag on Batman too. I remember there was a panel where they were trying to get to a different place. So Green Lantern made like a green jet, and Batman was like so annoyed with it. And Hal's like, well, how are we supposed to get there? Talk in a really deep voice. And Batman's like, no, but like, you might as well just put a big green like beacon up and like announce our arrival. Not exactly stealthy, right? I have been Zatanna many times. I love Zatanna. I have, yes. Zatanna was actually here the other day. I actually have a read by her reading Constantine on my YouTube if you want to check that out. I want to be Yellow Lantern Batman. Could you be my Guy Gardner? That could work. Yellow Lantern Batman. I need to find that comic book too. I actually did a read of Blackest Night with you guys the other day. Not the other day, it was a while ago. And I think I have an excerpt of that on my YouTube somewhere. But going back to this read, I'm now doing again what I did before with these reads, where I talk to you guys the whole time. I'm not actually reading. And thanks, Kenny. Okay, so let's blast through the rest of this, you guys. So he's like, can you come to the meeting? Can you come to the meeting and like vouch for the Yellow Lanterns because we need to work together? And then Hal's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have to bail on the meeting. I got something to do. So I need to bail on the big meeting. There's something else that I have to do. And then Jon Stewart is like, face palm. Oh, we aren't getting off to a very good start, are we? Because Jon Stewart's like, thanks for all the support, Hal. Could you like make your voice heard at the meeting later? You like at work. It's like, can you go to the big meeting and give your voice? It's like, I have something else I need to do. I can't tell you what it is, but it's important. Okay, let's continue on. And if you are just arriving, welcome. I'm Jessica Cruz, your favorite Green Lantern. I'm reading about Hal Jordan, my favorite Green Lantern. And Hal actually learns a lot from you guys are so funny. I can't tell you guys, just like, I am just a nerd, you know? It's just kind of like almost like a funny thing that I ended up in this avatar. I love comic books more than my hubby likes comic books. I read him comic books and get him up to speed with all of like the heroes and stuff, because to me, my hubby is my Hal Jordan. And in your own life, I recommend you guys realize that your friends and fam, they're your team too, right? And so I think for us to give each other the not the responsibility, it's more about like the honor, right, of being able to play an important role in your life. Can I threaten to kick someone as and that's not okay. Let's see here. Green. Okay, let's continue onwards. I knew you were live when my nipples started tingling. That's so funny. Also, to you guys, I had this accusation once from one of my girlfriends, because me and my hubby used to hang out with like her and her hubby, but she wasn't necessarily like me. So she would gripe a lot, be like, "Oh, I'm not like a cool wife like you," and I'm like, "I'm not trying to be a cool wife. I'm just, you know, I don't think we need to be so take this so seriously all the time. There's so much in our life already that is tough to deal with. So why do we make things that don't have to be tough, like so serious? So if we can have a little bit more fun with it, just like even the core, even though you may be going through really tough times, to see the silver lining is a good thing. Okay. So he needs to bail in the meeting. Jon Stewart face palms. And I was like, all right, fine. Go handle your business, Hal. And then Hal's like, I'll follow you anywhere you go, Green Lantern core leader. So back to the meeting. And John's like, you handle your business. I'll handle my business. So Soranik, Natu, and I have called everyone here to discuss what has never before happened in the history of the universe. Search the pages of the Book of OA. You say Oa or am I reading a magazine test? I'm reading you this. It's kind of shiny though. Hold on. There. The gloss on this. That's why I like the older comic books sometimes. The paper is even a little different, right? Okay, so we are here. I'll handle mine. Soranik, Natu, and I have called everyone here to discuss what has never happened in the history of the universe. Search the pages of the Book of OA. You'll find no mention of what we are about to embark on. The Green Lantern Corps, wielders of the green light of will. The Sinestro Corps, harnessers of the yellow light of fear. Old enemies, bitter combatants, joining forces, right? So this idea that like once enemies, they're going to be working together because there's a greater threat at play, right? Hey, Flash. Hey. Flash actually, fun fact, the Flash actually ends up holding, and to your quest, yes, he can host with me after him. I meant to finish this story. That was the whole point of this. I got like a message from the universe being like, hey, you know that comic book you have? You should probably do a read of it again and have it put up. But holy cow, I've just so tangenty. So give me like 10 minutes. But for sure, Samations, I'm going to let Guy know that I should have my ring by Monday. So Monday and Tuesday, or Monday or Tuesday, we can probably for sure do a Green Lantern ring situation. And then we can do like our oath together, all together, right? It'll be fun. And I am mixed Asian, Rochambeau. And Flash Jess, Barry. Which Flash are you? Flash. Are you Wally? Are you Barry? Aw, the Flash. I love you too. Me too. Hope, Blue Lantern. I knew you were a Blue Lantern, Flash. We're looking for you, by the way. We always need a little bit of hope in dark times. Okay, and I love the Flash so much because in Crisis on Infinite Earths, as you guys know, Flash, Barry Allen, and Kara Zor-El, Supergirl make the ultimate sacrifice to save the multiverse. So, love it. Not the sacrifice, but the heroic aspect of it. That ability to, as Jessica did when she finally got the Green Lantern ring, to face her fears, right? And step into the light, even though, it terrifies you, right? You do it It's not about not being afraid. It's about feeling it and you do it anyways, right? And then you practice and then it gets not so scary. Okay, so he's like, they're going to join forces. And John Stewart continues. The Green Lantern Corps has reclaimed its place as the police force of the universe, but we have lost too many lanterns along the way. And the battle of Warworld scattered what was left of the Sinestro Corps to the stars. So, we have a decision to make. We can continue to focus on what separates us, pummel each other until there is nothing left. Or we can focus on what everyone shares in this room: the desire to do right, the willingness to wear a uniform and be the first to a fight. And just maybe we'll keep creation from careening towards catalysm. Ooh, all that alliteration. And Ra, thanks for the follow. The sun, Egyptian sun god is following me. Love that. And Flash, thank you for that follow too. Always need some good superhero backup and support. And then so you can see here, John Stewart is kind of showing why he makes a great leader. He's trying to get the lanterns, the yellow and green lanterns, to like put aside their past differences in order to work together as a team, even though there's been like past animosity and that kind of stuff. And I think I love that. I love his little speech there, like, you know, the desire to do right and the willingness to wear a uniform, the willingness to be the first to, like, you know, take up the mantle, fight the fight, that kind of thing. Oh my gosh. Also, we should just have a lantern party, you guys, in the future. All the lanterns together. And there's also different uniforms they all have too, so don't worry, I'll work on it. And we can have an in-person aspect to it as well if you guys are local, hopefully. But I think a lot of you guys are in much warmer places than I am right now. So Hal comes to Kyle, who is currently the White Lantern. Kyle, we're leaving. Yes, Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern is needed elsewhere. And Kyle says, hang on, Ganthet. I want to hear John and Soranik. So it's crazy because Hal was like, I got stuff to do. I can't come to the meeting and give inspirational words. I gotta go. So in the middle of John giving inspirational words, Hal flies in, is like, Kyle, I need you. Can we get the full three? Will they get mad at me? Probably not. Well, I was gonna actually do the look with my white boots because I have the whole look with the white boots and the white gloves at the end of the whole situation of this read, but we'll see. Can I do a twirl? Would a twirl count, the watcher? Like this kind of thing? Okay, continuing onward. Hang on, Ganthet. I want to hear John and Soranik. Kyle's like, I was paying attention to the meeting, so what the heck? And then the Guardians, you can see here, the Guardians who are like the Green Lantern bosses, they're like these blue guys, little blue guys. And they say, far more important is the task that awaits you and Hal Jordan. We are the last of the Guardians of the universe in this matter, we have no doubt. Okay, wonderful. Nothing horrible ever happened after those words. You'll each be assigned new partners. So Kyle and Hal are out. They're like, all right, we got a separate little mission. That kind of thing. The twirl was great. Thank you. If this is happening, I've just changed timelines. Book of Rings, what timeline are you coming from? Welcome to the nexus point. Right, the converging of all the timelines. Let's see here. So John Stewart's continuing on with this speech. It's like he ignored the fact that Hal barged in and took Kyle and left. Hey, Guy Gardner. I know that we're gonna, I think after this read, maybe we can do a quick little live, maybe, depending on my timeline of it. But for sure, Guy Gardner, Monday my ring should arrive. It's according to my tracking, so at least by Monday or Tuesday or both. Maybe today too, we'll see, but I need to get through. Look at how long it's taking me. This is not even a long story. Let's continue. Okay. And Guy Gardner, Scott Summers, is in the chat. He does an awesome cosplay of Guy Gardner. The ring, the jacket, everything. He is this universe's Guy Gardner to me. So it'll be really cool. We all can kind of like meet in real life. I enjoy the longer reads. Yeah. The longer reads are good. I like doing those ones later at night because I find that like it's quieter. Maybe it's not. Never mind. Of course. Oh, you have it? You have the Blue Lantern flash ring? Oh my gosh, let's do a live with that. That, and we can have like Batman, Yellow Lantern, my friend there, Guy Gardner. We need a Kyle Rayner though. If we meet in real life, Ross, I promise I'll do the kick. Not to you though. Who would I do it on then? We'd have to find some poor sap for me to kick. Simulated. I knew you were Barry. Okay, let's continue on. Yeah, I know. Keep reading so we can actually get through it. So Kyle and Hal are off. They're off on a different mission, which is, spoiler alert, to find the Blue Lantern. So they're trying to find you, Flash. They're trying to find like hope, essentially. That's why this book is called, or this comic is called Quest for Hope, quite literally. And is this fate? I know, Maury, it is fate. Or is it destiny? Or synchronicity? All of the things. So you'll each be assigned new partners, one Green Lantern and one Yellow Lantern per sector. So it's like that Lethal Weapon thing. You have a Yellow Lantern and a Green Lantern buddied together to basically protect different sectors. So that's kind of cool. I had to charge my sister with battery. Oh my gosh, Bella. Are you okay? I hope you're okay. My eyes are different colors, right? Because I have my left Green Lantern eye to see evil in the darkness, right? And Ross, to your question, what do I think would be the poor sap's reaction? I would say to him, I won't kick you directly in the junk. I'll kick close to it, but we can do it very movie magic, right? So react more, and then I won't kick as hard. There you go. I can't trust her now. No, I don't like doing anything like that. This is just for Ross. And Bella, oh my gosh. I will say this. Wayne, have I read DCKOs? I don't think I have yet. I have to double check. I have a lot of comic books. I think one live will go through my whole comic book library, and I'll show you guys. Movie magic. And my dad passed. I just miss him mentally. Oh, Bella. You know what? I will say this. I have lost a lot of people in my life to the other side. I think far more. Like I'm 40, I guess, like over time, you do lose people, but it's one of those things as well that like when you when you read old stories or you go back in your memories, that is a way of like revisiting those that you love, right? It's like even in books, when a character dies, it hurts every single time I come to that same part, but I still read that story because I miss them, right? So it's like one of those things. I read a quote once that it takes a lot of courage to love, right? Because when you love someone, any relationship will come to an end, right? Because we're only here for a short time, right? So at some point, the relationship will end. Someone will have to say goodbye. And your courage to love is also based on the courage to deal with the grief of what you'll have when it's over. So because for me, I used to like just avoid relationships a lot because I would invest a lot, and so it would hurt so much for things to just go away, fall apart, say goodbye. I hate goodbyes, right? So to avoid saying goodbye, I never say hello, but then you never you'll never know, right? So please do have the courage to love and love again, that kind of thing. And Pedro Pascal, so funny seeing you here, even though you're Reed Richards in Marvel. Oh, hi, Kirk. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm totally looking forward to the Green Lanterns TV series. I think some stories, like the Lantern, because of how in depth their lore is, they have a lot of prophecy. They have to do a lot with the structure of how the DC universe even functions. And so doing it in a TV kind of format, I think lends itself for us to be able to have more character development, right? So us to get to know a lot of these characters more as opposed to like movies where things kind of get shoved in. And I think Hollywood uh, tends to be very lazy these days because they know that certain characters already have all of this history behind them and people love them already. So they don't have to do any character development work, right? Because you already love them, right? So I'll say that after that everyone deals with grief differently. Yes, that's true. That's true. Not that too. I'm not saying hello because it hurts to say goodbye. Yeah, yeah, you guys. So going to follow. Thank you for you guys. So um, same thing goes with being a superhero, right? Uh, choosing to step into a mantle, just even like what John Stewart said here, like the willingness to know that like going into something this could go down really badly. Like it could get really awful, but it will be worth it, right? And everything's cyclical in nature as well, and you won't feel horrible forever. Um, it's another reason why too Nightwing is one of my biggest crushes because he's an orphan, right? Dick Grayson loses his whole family, and he, in spite of that, him out of the whole Bat family is not as like grumpy as like Batman, right? So I I love that ability to be able to still like have fun, uh, find joy, find peace, even though so much shit has gone wrong, right? Um, so that, and I mean also too, like you have every right to feel grumpy too. Like it's, that's it, right? It's just, um, in your own life, sometimes when we do that, we do cut ourselves off from potential relationships and opportunities. So Pedro Pascal, who is my favorite superhero? That's hard to choose. If you guys go to my YouTube or you see my TikTok, I love a few characters, right? Like Satana, like Jessica Cruz, I'm playing right now, like Supergirl, like Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. Um, I love I love heroes that are complicated because it's one of those things where like you can have all these roads in front of you, but to have the courage and the character to take a road that's difficult, right? And walk it. That's why you have a team. Because walking that road is so much more fun when you have friends supporting you, right? Okay, let's continue onward. You've no doubt noticed there aren't enough Sinestro Corps members to go around. We're going to bring in the rest and put the choice to them. Redemption or, what is this? The science cells? What are those? Do you guys know what that is? The science cells? Is it like a prison kind of thing? It seems like a bad thing. And then we're going to shift backwards to where Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner have like basically left the meeting. Did I watch any of the superheroes TV series? So my favorite superhero TV series of all time, I think, is Smallville. I had the biggest crush on Lana Lang. I love Lana Lang. And also I love how they did, like Superman coming to his powers and that kind of thing. So it's probably my favorite TV series. I also, what was another one that I watched that was really good? I don't really watch a lot of the CW stuff. Like I've heard great things. I do love Supergirl Melissa, Supergirl, Flash, all of the TV shows like Daredevil. I've heard very good things, but I haven't been able to invest time in it. A lot of my TV watching is very sci-fi, actually. Go figure, like Alien, Was it Alien Earth was the latest one I was watching, which started out okay, and then it kind of got too much. What do I think of Superman and Lois? I actually haven't watched that, Pedro. Actually, I liked Krypton. Have you guys seen Krypton? It only had 2 seasons with Superman's grandfather. It was really good, and they talk about how like the Zods. It's a cool series. I'm sad that it ended, but it did start to get a little wokey near the end. I could feel the weird preachiness around it. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, so Hal's flying, Kyle's following. Kyle asks him, "Are you going to tell me what this is all about, Hal, or are we just going to fly off in some mysterious mission?" "I'm almost afraid to ask what job needs doing that only us two can handle." And Hal says, "The job needs you because you're the White Lantern. Your ring taps into all the 7 colors of the emotional spectrum." Yeah, so it's called the emotional spectrum. I kept on calling it magnetic, but it's the emotional spectrum. "The job needs me because I'm me." Oh, hell. And then the ring says, "Arrival at destination in 3, 2, destination reached." Woo, look at where they are. It looks like that place in Star Wars where Anakin, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." What is that planet called again? Anyways, it looks like that. Talk about a vacation hotspot. "You're right. Low-hanging fruit." Well, I was going to say tourist trap, but honestly, that isn't any better. "Kyle, I'm bummed. I mean, as an artist, my chosen medium is oil on canvas. But comedy is an art form, so Kyle, kaboom." And then I've never seen it, but I just bought the DVD Krypton. I liked it. It has a lot of cool lore in it, and it actually also has a character named Stephen Strange in it, and they talk about the Zeta beams a bit, and I want to bring that back in a later conversation because the Zeta beams are also how they explain how the Legion of Superheroes in the 30th century, like how time travel kind of works. And I love superhero logic for things, right? So like, what is the Zeta beam? Can we make a Zeta beam? Is there a Zeta beam here somewhere? We just don't know about it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So while Kyle was busy trying to make comedic jokes, which he considers an art form, Hal has made a construct to protect them. And he's like, "Kyle, freaking look around. I'm the only other person here, so I'm not exaggerating when I say no one cares about your jokes. Focus the hell up here. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, I got it. We don't have much time. This planet is set to collapse. Use your ring and tell me if you detect any hope anywhere." And Kyle says, "Hope? In this place? Now you're joking, Hal." "I am not joking even a little, Kyle. I was told to find hope," right? This is a video on YouTube. It ties into tonight's theme on space marines killing stuff for 8 minutes. I hope you can watch this as a fan. Ooh, I like that. You know what other videos on YouTube I used to watch? G-force training. You know, like when you hit the G, right? So they put pilots, or I guess like even like space cadets in like that, I don't know, the thing that like they simulate the G kind of situation, and so you can see their face and like how long they can hold on before they pass out to train it. The videos are funny. I probably shouldn't laugh, but still. Okay. So Ganthet and Saeed said that I should start here, bring Ganthet and Saeed, and they didn't explain why. The green light of will and the blue light of hope are linked. That's why they brought Kyle as the White Lantern there. The way the rings interact with each other is a whole, like, I don't know what you want to call it. There's a whole process or lore behind it as well. Like, for example, Supergirl, I don't know if you guys know this, in a story, she actually ends up wielding the Red Lantern Ring of Rage. And I think normally the only way to, oh, Matt, thank you for that. The only way to disengage or release yourself from a Red Lantern ring would be with a Blue Lantern ring, I think. But Supergirl doesn't do this. She goes like straight through the heart of our sun. And I think like, I forget how it happens. It's like she supercharges herself and frees herself from the Supergirl, from the ring. Red Rage Supergirl. Yeah, I'm working on something like that. Because once Supergirl finds out the ultimate betrayal, that basically one of the bosses of the Green Lantern Corps ordered for Krypton to be killed, she loses it, right? It's one of those like mad Queen Daenerys, right? You do all these things to people and you just snap, and then there you go, right? It's like in astrology where you have anger that is sometimes like well deserved, right? But then it can hit a point where it can consume you, right? So same thing goes with like fear. It's actually healthy to have a little bit of fear when it comes to things. If you just went balls to the wall with like no consideration at all, you would get kind of messed up. You know, like if you didn't plan effectively because you knew what was coming, because you knew what to be careful of, then you would get screwed. So there's some levels there to like, you know, being courageous, but not like foolhardy, right? What to the wall? I forget. Did I say balls to the wall? You're always catching that stuff, Ross. And Tank, thank you for the finger heart. Okay, I'll do the finger heart back to you. Okay. So the green the green light of will and the blue light of hope are linked. So, oh yeah. So Kyle's actually asking Hal why the white lantern why he needs to be there specifically, because he's saying green and blue, those rings are actually linked. I didn't know that. So he says that back to him. And then Hal says, they also said this planet's conditions would wreak would wreak havoc with my ring's tracking. The connection in your ring is stronger. So they went to this planet, which is basically falling apart and on the verge of collapse. And why normally Hal would just come on his own and use the Green Lantern ring, because of the unstable planet, they need something a bit stronger. So White Lantern ring is supposed to be the accumulation, like the White Lantern ring of life versus the Black Lantern ring of death, right? And it's supposed to be accumulation of all the powers of the rings. Okay. But it's kind of like the Phoenix Force, where it can corrupt you, like the one ring of power it is wreak havoc. Is it, Julian? Not wreck havoc? You know, a funny thing, Julian, too, my very first read that I did comic book wise was Supergirl and the Green Lantern Corps. And I kept on calling the Green Lantern Corps the Green Lantern Corpse. Because that's what it looks like. That's how it reads, corpse, not, but it sounds like corpse. And then one of my viewers is like, just to let you know, it's core, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I'm foreign, so whatever. Thanks, Julian, by the way. Okay. They also said this planet's conditions wreak havoc with my ring's tracking, and your connection with your ring is much more secure. Wait until everyone hears that Hal Jordan, the williest willer who ever willed, needed my help because he couldn't get his ring to do what he wanted. Classic. Just get on with it. It's faint, but I think that way. So he basically picks up on the Blue Lantern ring, right? Picking up that way. Definitely. Not sure how far. I feel that the trail is already slipping. So we'll have to keep low where you can stay locked in. We dodge a few avalanches and lava geysers. No problem. Well, those aren't what concern me. So what does? I mean, besides you having a 1 in 5 chance at male pattern baldness. Oh, Kyle, can't help your jokes. Even when you're fighting bad guys. And Hal says, do you really want to know? Oof. Look at that bad guy. I'm telling you, the Green Lantern Corps, they always end up dealing with like legit actual cosmic monsters and stuff, right? Does that answer your question? And so, flash. We'll have commercial break, and then we come back to Mogo. So we're hunting down the yellows. We can't do that if we can't find them. My ring is no help. The data and comm link blew up with Warworld. So Warworld, I believe, was like the homeworld of the Yellow Lantern Corps. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Even if that weren't the case, the rest of the Sinestro Corps have heard by now that you're with us. So, any information you receive from your ring would be disinformation. I knew our tech resources would be compromised, so I decided to go old school. Human intelligence. And when he says human intelligence, Guy Gardner shows up and he's like, I heard someone talking about me? Hello. I got the answer to all of your troubles, Johnny. Meet Cabby. Take anyone or anything anywhere faster than anybody. Cabby, this is the one and only John Stewart, the head of the Green Lantern Corps. Guy, I'm all for making arrests, but I sent you to get information on the Sinestro Corps. You said you had a reliable source. Want to know where there's scummers? Want to know where there's scummers hiding? You talk to a scummer. No offense, Cabby. Oh, your words wound me. Listen here, Chief. Corps Leader Stewart, not Chief. I drive plenty of people. The twitchy sort, looking to stay off the grid. A lot of loose lips, and the cabby hears everything. I hear a but. No but. Guy and I already worked out the fare. I'm ready when you are. Well, we have to repair his ship. It suffered some unforeseen damage when I was convincing him of the worthiness of our cause. Done. Say again? So he's like, and something. Hey, Voice of Wine, welcome. I'm just about to finish, hopefully. I told Cabby we'd give him immunity on all past charges of smuggling, trafficking, and every other non-violent ing. That right? Then this better be impressive, says John Stewart. Chief, I don't know any other way to be. And so we're now at Command Center. So this is how it looks to have your name in lights. Talk, Cabby, or your next stop will be the tour of jail. Where to start? I did a quick job disappearing a fare after T-Furs here took over the neighborhood. Another fare told me his cousin tried to hit on Miss Congeniality at a Shadow Market gaming pit. Her answer was to feed the poor schlub his tongue. This one, sure, had a nervous fare who needed to sneak onto, Doglin Prime without stamped travel papers. Couldn't sleep a wink for all the nightmares about that Couldn't sleep a week for all the nightmares about that Birdbeak and what he did to the crew. Nasty habits. But I don't have to tell you that. It's all right, Chief. Say it. Everyone knows. You're impressed. Okay. You've got your deal. So back on the collapsing planet with Hal and Kyle. Easy, big fella. Kyle, get the hell out of here. Always playing me like your kid brother, Hal. I can hold my own. Oh, and Guy Gardner, you're in here. Making a deal, right, with the cabby for information? Okay. I can hold my own. This isn't a contest, says Hal. You can draw a bead on the last spark of hope, and I will do what I do best. Kraboom, everything else. Shout if you need backup, says Kyle as he flies off. I'll muddle through. Hope. So Kyle's off to go find Hope, and Hal's gonna hold down all the monsters. Teamwork, right? Teamwork. That's why you need a team. So this panel's cool, right? Because we're kind of flashing back between Hal and Kyle. Kaboom! Sorry, but I need to let Kyle get where he's going. Ah! Foosh. Why does it feel like Hal gave me the hard job? And while Hal's fighting, he's like, oh my gosh, he's taking his time. As per usual, I should have picked the Death Dragon, says Kyle as he's trying to find Hope. It's the more metal way to go. Gah, fwash. Artists, am I right? It's so funny because it's like Kyle's talking to us in the comic book. He's like, if you're artists out there, right? I should have picked the Death Dragons. True that. And then later, who? Did he find him? Oh, yes. And then we have found Saint Walker, our hope. Relinquish your hope. You are prey to the misery mind, or the misery mound, rather. Saint Walker. Next, hope extinguished. And that is where we will leave this story. Got some cool back panels too. Some cool art here. I like this mech suit. So that was the read of Hal Jordan, Quest for Hope, Part 1. And I will hopefully have the later read at some point in time so we can actually accumulate the whole thing. Hal is amazing, right? I know Guy has his own, like, that's the thing though, right? They each have their own personality types. Like Jon Stewart is the consummate leader. Hal's kind of like a renegade rebel, right? Badass kind of thing. Kyle is, he's like, oh, you're always playing it like I'm your kid brother, right? So he's kind of like smart alecky, smart ass, like jokes and stuff. Sounds good, Scott Summers. Sounds good. Okay, guys, that's the read. I will have this ready. I'm going to cut it up so that it has a little less of my like rambling on and more of the story. And of course, I won't forget YouTube either. So I think my latest read that I've released on YouTube is my Captain Marvel read, and I will have this one on very soon as well. I haven't seen the Jessica Cruz Green Lantern in live action until now. Yay! And hopefully we can inspire reality in real life so that we do get Jess in real life, because we do have that TV show coming up with the Green Lanterns, and it would be great if Jess and Simon Baz were in that. I'm not sure if anyone has any more details about it, but maybe we'll find out more coming up. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining me for this live. Remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in this cosmic game of life, so be sure to play as exactly you, because the universe is counting on you. But no worries, got your back. Till next time, guys, stay super.